in Indiana?
Yeah, I mean, not much went into it other than yes, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. Caitlin Clark is officially back, and she returned like a storm sweeping through the WNBA. Tornado. After sitting out the last 5 games, Clark suited up against the undefeated New York Liberty, the defending champions, the so-called juggernauts of the league. And from the very first possession, you could feel the electricity in the air. The crowd was buzzing, the Fever were locked in, and Caitlin? She had that look in her eye, the kind that tells you this game is about to be something special. The game tipped off, and instantly, Caitlin Clark reminded everyone why she is must-see basketball. Directing traffic like a maestro, she dribbled at the top of the arc, stepped back over Breanna Stewart, and boom, net. That single shot changed the whole atmosphere. You could almost hear the Liberty say, "Oh, she's back." But it wasn't just the 3-ball. Clark was orchestrating. She fed Kelsey Mitchell with a bounce pass for a clean finish. Then she spotted Aliyah Boston sprinting ahead and launched a perfect full-court dime. Touchdown pass. Gainbridge exploded. Moments later, Clark danced into the paint with a crossover spin combo that left defenders grabbing at air before finishing through contact. And one. That's when the Fever crowd knew this was going to be a night to remember. Now, to their credit, the Liberty did respond. Stewart hit some tough mid-range shots. Ionescu tried to steady the offense, and Jones powered down low. But every single time they found momentum, Clark yanked it right back. Logo range. Splash. Step back from 26 feet. Bucket. Running full speed into a pull-up 3. Cash. By the end of the first quarter, Clark already had 14 points, and more importantly, the Liberty defense was in panic mode. They couldn't figure out whether to trap her, chase her over screens, or play her straight up. Nothing worked. This is where things got spicy. 5 minutes into the second quarter, Clark found herself one-on-one with Breanna Stewart. MVP versus rookie phenom. The crowd rose to their feet. Clark gave her a nasty crossover, created just enough space, and drilled a deep step-back 3 over Stewart's outstretched hand. Bang. Stewart looked back almost in disbelief, but couldn't help smirking on the way down the floor. That's respect, even from one of the best to ever do it. And it didn't stop there. Clark added another deep 3, then threaded a no-look pass to Boston for a layup. Mitchell cut baseline. Clark found her in stride. Bucket. It was textbook chemistry. By halftime, Caitlin had 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, with 6 threes already in the bag. And remember, this was her first game back. To drop 25.5 against the best team in the league? Legendary stuff. But the Fever weren't just relying on Clark. Mitchell was carving up defenders with sharp cuts. Boston was setting bone-crushing screens and pounding the glass. Lexi Hull gave them extra perimeter firepower. And collectively, the Fever looked more confident than they have all season. Score at the break. Fever 53, Liberty 50. The champs were in trouble. Out of the half, the Liberty tried to flex. Ionescu hit 2 tough jumpers, Stewart got a bucket inside, and New York started inching forward. But Indiana had an answer every time. Mitchell attacked downhill, drew contact, and converted an and one. Clark pushed the pace, found Lexi Hull wide open on the wing. Splash. Next trip down. Mitchell again, this time a pull-up 3. Then Clark decided to remind everyone whose night it was. She calmly pulled up from well beyond the arc, drilling another triple to push Indiana's lead into double digits. From there, it was contagious. Coulson hit 1. Dantas joined the splash party. The Fever were raining threes like it was a monsoon, and New York simply had no umbrella. By the end of the third quarter, Indiana had drained 9 threes in just that frame. The building was rocking. The Liberty looked shell-shocked, and the Fever carried a 9-point cushion into the fourth. Now, if you know the Liberty, you know they're dangerous in the fourth. Undefeated teams don't fold easily, but Indiana didn't give them the chance. Hull buried a straightaway 3 early in the quarter. Mitchell drilled one from the corner. Then Aliyah Boston, the anchor inside, muscled her way through Sabali for an and one that sent the arena into chaos. But the final dagger was pure poetry. Clark drew in 2 defenders, slipped a sneaky bounce pass to Lexi on the baseline, and she whipped it out to Mitchell wide open in the corner. The shot went up, and it was money. Cold-blooded. That was the knockout blow. Final score, Fever 102, Liberty 88.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the meetings that are going to happen in Indianapolis are going to be really important, and, although I'm not our...
Anna had just taken down the champs. Let's talk numbers. Caitlin Clark, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 11 of 20 shooting, career-high 7 threes. Kelsey Mitchell, 21 points, relentless cutting, and key buckets when Clark was pressured. Aliyah Boston, 15 points, 11 rebounds, toughness and physicality inside. A team, 17 of 35 from three-point range. Liberty, only 6. That's the difference. But stats don't tell the whole story. Clark dictated tempo. Every possession felt faster, sharper, and more dangerous with her back on the floor. The Liberty's defense never got set, and that's where Indiana killed them, in transition and in rhythm. This wasn't just a win, this was a message. Indiana handed the Liberty their first loss of the season. And not a fluke win, not an ugly grinded out. No, this was a statement blowout. The Fever outshot them, outran them, and outworked them. For Clark, this was redemption. In their last meeting, she and the Fever felt robbed by officiating. This time, she left no doubt. She dominated, and she did it on the biggest stage against the best opponent. For the Fever as a team, this proves they're more than just a Caitlin Clark show. With Mitchell cutting, Boston banging inside, and Hull stretching the floor, Indiana looks like a dangerous squad heading into the second half of the season. And for the Liberty, this is a wake-up call. You can't coast on reputation. Clark and the Fever just put the league on notice. Clark after the game, I felt good, I felt strong. We played the Fever way, up-tempo, unselfish, working for one another. That's how we're supposed to play basketball. Her coach echoed that. We knew her adrenaline would be high, but 25 and a half? That's Caitlin. When she gets hot, it's streaky, and she carried us early. Even Liberty coach Sandy Brondello admitted, some of those shots, you just can't defend. She's a special player. Up next, the Fever traveled to face the Connecticut Sun. On paper, it looks like a lighter matchup, but make no mistake, with Clark back, Indiana has one goal, extend the revenge tour. This Liberty win isn't just one night. It's momentum. It's belief. It's the proof that this young team can beat anyone. So there you have it. Caitlin Clark's triumphant return, a career-high performance, and a massive upset that shakes the WNBA to its core. The Liberty are no longer undefeated. The Fever are no longer overlooked. And Caitlin Clark, she's not just back. She's back with a vengeance. This has been your Hoop Doctor Recap. Thanks for watching, and buckle up, because if Indiana keeps playing like this season is about to get very, very interesting. And here's the biggest takeaway, Fever fans. This wasn't just a single game performance, it was a statement to the rest of the league. The Indiana Fever are no longer the underdogs. They're evolving into a powerhouse that can punch with the best of them. Caitlin Clark's presence alone completely changes the geometry of the floor. Defenses stretch out to guard her range, which opens up driving lanes for Boston, Mitchell, and Lexi. That balance makes the Fever unpredictable, dangerous, and nearly impossible to guard when they're locked in. But beyond the X's and O's, what stands out is their confidence. They played like a group that truly believed they belonged on the same court as the Liberty, and when you mix that belief with elite shooting and unselfish playmaking, you get the recipe for greatness. If this momentum carries forward, the Fever's revenge tour could be just the beginning of something special.